I have never opened up a Google Doc to write a script about an anime I just watched as quickly as I have with this one. I just finished the first episode of Komi Can't Communicate, and for lack of a better term, it was bloody fantastic. This is a show that needs to be on your watch list this full season because it truly delivers an experience worth watching. It's funny, cute, and beautiful. But it doesn't just have these elements, it nails them. Now that I've hyped this show up, let's explain what makes it so special.
目標はコミュ障のコミさんに友達を99人作ること。
Komi-san's plot is about as straightforward as they come. There's this guy called Tadano who sets out to live his high school life as ordinary and as by the books as possible. He meets a girl called Komi, who happens to be one of the most beautiful people he's ever seen, except she can't communicate, verbally anyway. There's a couple of shows I can think of that are very similar to this, but I think Komi-san does stand out straight from the get-go with its slightly gamified goal of having Komi find 100 friends. It's a very defined mission, which I think will be fun to follow along with. But, of course, that's not really what makes it amazing. Let's break that down into two main sections. Firstly, the visual comedy is at a level I don't think I've seen before in an anime. I've spoken a lot about taking advantage of anime as a medium before, letting go of the restrictions that apply to real life, and Komi is doing exactly this. You'll have heard of the phrase, turn to stone, in reference to freezing up when talking, and you'll have seen this occur in movies or TV shows, but not quite as literally as in Komi-san. I love this, it really makes the comedy so much more fun, and equally as important, it's engaging. Another example which is consistent throughout the first episode is the visualization of spoken words, or sounds on screen. It's definitely not the first anime to do this either, but it feels so organic and impactful here that I feel it'd be a completely different show without it. One of the most memorable being when Komi tries running away from a situation, leaving a visual trail behind her. It's like a more advanced Roadrunner gag or something. The last thing I wanted to point out regarding the visual comedy is the cat ears that occasionally pop out of Komi's head to express her interest, surprise, etc. What a great way to add personality to a character without being intrusive. It put a smile on my face and made me connect with Komi on a more substantial level. Who'd have thought that having some cat ears could achieve that? Some of my favourite anime utilise the same methods that Komi-san is using, and I'd argue that it's one of the best examples in the medium. That's saying a lot considering it's just been one episode. Moving on, let's talk about the other main thing that I think Komi-san does unbelievably well. I said Komi-san is a beautiful show, which might surprise some of you as it's a romantic comedy, but I really do mean it. I describe it as such because it makes important moments that would otherwise be perceived by outsiders as unimportant feel noteworthy and significant. The best example I can think of is the main chalkboard scene. If you are watching this as an individual observing in the classroom, you'd think it's just some people writing on a chalkboard. But watching from the anime perspective, we realise it's much more than this. It's a spark of human connection. The little and sometimes more exaggerated expressions that the characters make create an ever-evolving impact. The atmosphere of the room also leads into this with the bright white lights coming in through the windows. It's as if we've stopped in time, and as we can't really see outside, all that matters right now is what's occurring in the room. I think moments like this are going to be masterfully inserted throughout the Komi-san anime. I can tell from the get-go that this is a very talented team working on this production. A lot of the time, I feel anime is lacking in the use of directing techniques which help make scenes more engaging. However, with Komi-san, I've already noticed an abundance of them. I've also neglected to mention that the animation and music in the show is excellent too. I won't go into detail, as I feel you have to experience it in full to really understand why these elements are so good and harmonious. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's that you better go watch this show, or else you're gonna miss something wonderful. I've been Russ, and have a great night or day.